I'm like 19 years old, a full-time college student. I was working at a catering company on the weekends when I didn't have practice in baseball games. So I was literally dead broke.
Hey, it's Happy Hour with Deb, and I'm going to tell you, I'm excited to be with one of my friends here today, a very good friend. Cawano, last name?
Sizemore.
Sizemore, yes.
Yes.
So let me give you, do you mind if I give a little background?
Of course.
All right. So it was a few months ago. We're sitting here in Nashville where we're recording at a business meeting with Coach Michael Burt, who obviously we both...
The greatest.
The greatest, right? It doesn't get any better than that. And we had the privilege of sitting at the same table.
We did.
And then you told me what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And for the listeners and the viewers, this fine man is 24 years old.
Indeed.
Yes. So when people tell you can't do it or I'm not old enough to do it, I want you to listen to this podcast and then rebroadcast it. So, and then I was like, whoa, a mover and shaker at 24 years old. So honored to have you.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you don't even know. When you said yes, we were just talking. When you said yes, I was like, oh my God, he's taking out time for me. So it is truly an honor and a privilege to have you. Let's get into it. Let's talk some business.
I love that.
Tell me how you got started.
How did I get started in business? So I was 19 years old, so I was still very young. I was a broke college student playing baseball full time at a junior college in Santa Clara, California, San Jose area, for those that are in California or know what San Jose is. And it's a very interesting story, okay?
Love it.
My auntie at the time lived in New York, and she had just gotten a boyfriend or something that she was talking to at the time. And she introduced me to her boyfriend kind of through social media at the time, right? And man, it was really appalling because he played baseball in the minor leagues and stuff like that, and we connected like that because he grew up playing baseball and actually got a chance to play collegially and actually kind of semi-professionally, which was great because that's what I wanted to do at the time.
Right.
But then he got me on a webinar, right? Like on a little opportunity call. I got on the call. I remember this like it was yesterday. I told my baseball coach that I had to leave a little bit earlier, because I had a night class at that time. So I had night class at like 5:30 or something like that. And I told my coach I had to leave a little bit earlier so I can go to class, so I can go.
First of all, that for a 19-year-old,
Yes.
like bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Yes. So sat in my car literally for like 30 or 45 minutes. Class was going. I didn't care about class, right? Because I was like, okay, what is this, right? He was talking about money. I said, okay. So I got on, I'm listening, and he's talking about trading, how to make your money work for you. And that was really a foreign concept that I didn't really understand at the time because I was always conditioned that I need to go to school, get a good job, and that's what's going to pay me, and I'm going to live off that. And I never thought that I could make my money work for me. And I remember sitting down in my car, make your money work for you. So I can make my dollars initially work for me.
It's amazing.
Right? That's a brilliant concept, right? Think about you got little dollars walking around the room, pumping iron, right? Little arms,
Right.
doing stuff, right?
So true.
And duplicating more dollars, having more kids. And that was really the concept that brought to my mind. And the thing is I said no to the opportunity. I was like, I didn't know what it was, didn't know what trading was, didn't know, it was a foreign concept to me. I didn't know.
Sure.
And the guy, I didn't really know who he was.
It's a whole other language, finance.
Exactly, right? So fast forward 6 months later, this was like March 2019. I saw somebody that I played baseball with started posting about trading. He started posting his profits, how he made money. And I said, okay, I saw that it was real. I said, okay, if he could do it, I know I could do it. I said, bro, sign me up right now. Okay,
That's
we got on
awesome.
the call. I signed up. I literally had FAFSA money that I got from school because, if you're broke in America, they pay you to go to school.
Absolutely.
Now
Thank
that-
God for that, though, right? Because
thank
there's so
God.
many good opportunities that people aren't taking advantage of. Yeah, it's awesome.
I think that's a great point. People definitely don't look for opportunity.
Right.
And that's why they don't really get it.
Right.
But yeah, so fast forward 6 months later, I joined the business. I get started. I meet this young man named Nate Douglas, right? He's actually was in the business about 3 to 4 months before I was, and he started teaching me the ropes about it. And this is actually the first environment where I really got around people that really talked about becoming successful, right? Actually gaining success.
Like your whole life.
Exactly, right?
Wow, that's amazing. Thank God you found it at 19.
Exactly. And I'm so grateful that I got to experience that, because I always think, where would I be today if I didn't get this information?
Yes.
You know, I probably wouldn't be sitting with you.
You're coachable. Like, that's amazing that you saw the opportunity.
I appreciate you saying that.
As opposed to the excuses of why you couldn't do it.
True.
That's amazing. So tell us more. Like, you met this guy. What was the opportunity?
So it was more about trading and building a network marketing company, right? So I was building a business, also learning how to trade. And, you know, for my, you know, this is actually where I found one of the concepts that I truly really teach people today. And 6 months into that business, I grew an organization to over like 35 people. And I was started making about $1,000 a month. Right. And the thing is like, I was
and the
my
hustle
mom and dad.
of that and being an athlete, which is so time consuming.
Exactly. Man, it's like a full-time job.
It's a full-time job.
Literally, you're in the gym in the morning or at night, very late at night, and then you're on the field for, 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
At least.
It is. It's a lifestyle.
You know, and most people don't really talk about that, how time dedicating it is to actually sports. It's like a real full-time job.
Yes, absolutely.
It
totally is a full-time job.
It legitimately
People
is.
just don't walk on the field to greatness. You know what I mean?
You got to practice.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
You got to practice. So started making about $1,000 a month. Went to a business convention. This is the first convention I ever went to. It was in Dallas. Changed my life completely. Started hearing from people that were making, millions, right? Almost touching billions, right? Which was insane, because now that I got to experience that, I was exposed to more of what life could actually be like for me. Right? Because I was just so conditioned to, okay, I'm going to make it in baseball. I got to go to school. And the thing is I really didn't care about school. I really just cared about school because I had to pass my classes to play baseball.
Right.
So once I found this, I was like, okay, this is something that I love learning about. I love learning about how to make money. I love learning about how to basically learn different skills to make more money. And that actually goes to my second concept that I love to teach people is find a skill, knowledge, or some type of value that you have in yourself and start to exchange that for money instead of your time for money, because you're capped when you start to exchange your time for money. Even if you work 24/7, even if you have $300 an hour, you can only make a certain amount of money.
You're limited.
Okay?
Exactly.
But what I found out through my unique skills and experience of entrepreneurship is people will pay you more for your value than they will your time.
Absolutely.
Right? And
absolutely.
Once I understood that concept, it completely changed my life, because now I started to focus on, okay, there are skills that I need to develop on a day-to-day basis that will help me make more money. And I wish more people thought like this, because we wouldn't have so many people, maybe complaining about what's not happening in life if they just understood a different concept and how they thought. And I think concepts and a way of thinking is basically how people can actually change their life. So that was really my start into entrepreneurship. I got involved in trading, started trading. Got involved into leadership. That was like my main real focus when I first got into it was, that's what all they talked about was leadership, how to develop people, how to develop yourself, etc. And I feel like that was a real skill that I developed because, fast forward to from today about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. Actually, it's 2 years ago in February, right? I got involved into what I'm doing now. I started to build my Connect agency, right? And really, I'm going to repeat myself with the two concepts that we really teach is, we specialize in helping people make their money work for them without taking any losses, right? So we help people build wealth without mitigating any risk, right? So people can be comfortable without...
Which is a total foreign concept.
But it's
not foreign because people like you can do it.
Exactly.
Right? It's not a foreign. That's the what we believe.
Exactly. Conformity of ideas.
Yeah.
Right? The same concept that people keep repeating to themselves or keep teaching other people is the reason why people don't know a lot of the information that they don't know.
Right.
And I'm a true believer in that. Now, the second concept, right, is, okay, let's help you find some skills that you have. And, Coach Bird talks about this a lot, right? Finding your skills, finding your value. And he says, what do you love to do? Are you good at it? Do you think that you can be the best? right? And then basically, is there a need for in the world that you can actually, solve a problem for, right?
Yes.
Because, like Coach Burt says, and it's funny because I study him so much, so I start to talk like him.
Yeah, I know. Same. Truth. Right. And when I'm not around him, I'm like, I'm missing the energy. I gotta get
Exactly. That's why I like coming back out here and pouring out my cup and being refilled.
Yes.
Even with you being here, I'm really filling my cup, which is amazing. So, but he says, money exchanges hands when problems are solved.
Yes.
Right. So the thing is, if you really got to understand that though, because right. Okay. Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah. Money exchanges hands when problems are solved. Right. I solve a problem for you, but you really got to understand that, because if you can hone in on a skill or some type of value that you have, and you can legitimately solve hundreds of thousands of people's problems. Right. Yeah. Think about if you just made, let's just say $100 off of that $100,000 people. Right. That's a lot of money that you can make off that that value, that skill that you have.
Absolutely.
And, you wouldn't be able to do that
bigger.
all the time.
That's out of the box.
Exactly.
Right? We're so taught to think in the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And thank God. I mean, bravo to you. When I first met you, I have to tell you, I was in awe that you were this young.
Thank you.
And that you had the skills that 50-year-old people don't have. Like, you took that ball and you ran with it, which is just so incredible, because we get stuck in patterns and we get stuck in ways. And I'm like, my God, you're a master, and you're teaching people, young families, how to do this, which if you can get it when you're young, you're set for life.
I agree.
You're totally set for life. Let's talk about Connect. Let's see. Tell me I got the privilege, the true honor of sitting in with you on Sunday night and getting to meet some of your people. And I can tell you, I thought we were going to be like on a 10-minute call, 15-minute call. And they were like, let's go. Let's go. And thank you so much. It was like truly an honor. And just the hungriness and not even financially, but knowing that we're solving problems. We're creating sustainable income for your life, generational wealth. And now they're going to take the things that you have taught them and pass them on to their children.
Right. I totally agree with that. And I think that's a big reason why I love doing this, is because I'm actually just posted something on my Instagram, not Tuesday night. And it really hits home, because I said, fuck your opinion is bigger than money, is bigger than freedom, is bigger than you. Right. Yes. I say that for a specific reason, because there's a business partner of mine that I work with in the agency. And he was somebody that I actually went to elementary school with, and we lived right around the corner from each other. So to come back full circle and us actually exchanging hands, right?
Well, that is full circle.
Yeah, exactly. And us actually working together is, really beneficial. So, he really doesn't have the, I would consider me and my mom having a great relationship, right? Like, me and her, we can talk shit to each other, right? I could tell her about herself, she could tell me about myself, right? And we won't get offended, we won't get mad or anything like that.
That's a language of love,
right? It's because I'm my mom's only child, so of course, like how you have your only child.
That's it.
I think that's a key component right there.
Yeah, you keep it real with only children.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there's not a lot of fluff in there.
Exactly. Fuck them kids, right?
Right. You're like, come on, man. We don't raise quitters. Get up.
Exactly. And I think my mother and father definitely instilled that into me. However, I forgot what I was saying about Connect Agency, and about how the young man that I work with, he may not have the best relationship. He still has a good relationship with his mother. I'm not saying that they are total in an outbreak, but they have some problems here and there, and I'm not ashamed to say this, but I was sitting there because the young man is about to have a kid. Wow. In the next couple months, right?
Yeah, and full circle.
I saw, like, I'm sitting back, right? I'm observing. The mother is talking to the mother of the child, right? The girlfriend, the wife, the future wife, right? And like, I can just see how desirable she has a great desire to be in this woman's life, because her son is having a kid with her.
Absolutely.
And it made me really tear up, because I really, like, obviously I didn't cry in front of him, but it made me tear up. I'm like, man, like, we really unite people with this business. It's not really just about money, right?
It's not about money.
It's not. And that really hit home, because my idea of seeing a family, I think that's the best thing you can have, is a real constructive family that have the grandparents working with the parents working with the kids, and then the kids working with the grandkids, and so on and so on and so on.
And it's
everyone's
so
just
far
one.
removed.
Exactly.
But your company's bringing that back. I like love that.
I think we are definitely doing. We have a real family based culture.
Love
right.
that.
I think culture is very important when developing people.
Absolutely.
We have standards that we have, right? We have, like, we show up, grow up, and we deliver, right? We don't whine, complain, or pout or anything like that. Like how Coach Burt says, we don't, and I really try to instill those values into people that I work with, because as you say, man, I'm not working with anybody that's trash. Right?
I will not work with trash.
I'm not working with trash, because it takes more energy out of me to work with you,
right,
for trash than it does for us to be mutual. And like, okay, you want this as bad as I want this. Let's work together and let's grow together.
Right. And I think when people hear that, except for people that are, growing their businesses like we are, that, it's not a judgment, but your name is your existence and your values and what you put. And I could see your values pouring through those people on the screen the other day, right?
Appreciate
So
that.
to me, I want somebody aligned with my values who believes in what I believe in and just is approachable to work with, because and I'm all right. Well, let's get into this. You're so young, right? So I'm super proud of you for this. I am humbled by what you've done. I really am. So what is it like to be 24 years old and step into an arena with, I'm assuming, 50, 60, 70-year-old men who have been doing this career?
Man, it definitely is It definitely is a little challenging. I wouldn't say it's definitely that hard. You just got to take action, because it's funny. I was just talking to an older gentleman not too long ago. He was like, "What? You too old to be talking about finances?" I was like, "Man, if you knew what I know, you wouldn't be saying that."
Right.
So
right.
I really think
beautiful. We don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. Right. So I really love that. So the thing is people confuse age with experience, and with experience with information.
Yes.
And the thing is like...
And wisdom.
And wisdom, right? And the thing is most people don't get wisdom because they experience and don't reflect.
Yes.
But if you experience and you reflect, then that's what gives you wisdom, right?
Yeah.
That's what gives you wisdom. So I think that people that are young age right now, maybe 20, because, maybe I started entrepreneurship at the age of 19, right? So maybe you're 19, maybe you're 18, maybe you're 16 and you want to get into entrepreneurship. The thing is that will catapult you forward is just learning new skills, learning new value, learning new information. And then the more that you learn this and you apply it and you start to get results with it, that's how I think that's a big reason why my confidence is so high, is simply because I may not have known exactly what to do. And I'll be honest, I most of the time in entrepreneurship, you probably don't know what the hell's going on.
No way.
But the thing is that you just got to keep moving forward. You got to keep taking action. You got to keep studying. And I think that is what really led me to where I am today. I learned, I studied, I was hungry, and I never took no for an answer.
That's awesome. We had talked about that with your team the other day, how
we did.
You got to just get it can't rattle you.
Mm-hmm.
It can't throw you off your game. Because I believe you're not even a badass till somebody slams the door in your face.
Hey, that's
true. Tells
true.
you that you're shit.
That's
true. So I don't know. And I think that is probably... from, just starting a whole nother career and moving on, I think that is the biggest thing, is our fear of rejection, right? And I could see it when we were talking with your team the other day, and by the way, they're fantastic.
Shout out to them.
They're fantastic. I love them. Can't wait to get with your Dallas crew. You could see that, well, what if they keep saying, there's always an answer for another answer, right?
I agree with that, right? And I know that, we're talking a lot about Coach Burt today because we're in Nashville, but...
we're allowed to talk about Coach Burt. We love our Coach Burt.
Yes,
we know that he knows we love him.
Yes,
A lot of big shout out to him.
Man,
we love him.
I feel like when I'm around him, I'm like his son,
Exactly, right, exactly.
So it's
the funny thing is his son's like 4.
Exactly, right. So maybe 20 years ago he had me, but whatever. Coach Burt, you had me 20 years ago. No, but long story short, excuse me, remind me, I was too baffled about Coach Burt.
We were talking about how when people say no and like keeping people motivated.
The follow-up system. Man.
Scary. Like to people that are entrepreneurs and sales, like, don't.
Man.
That's the call, right? That's it.
I grew up in entrepreneurship, right? learning something called BAM right? And
Talk to me.
book a meeting from a meeting. And the thing
Wow,
is
I love that.
most people don't do this, which is why they lose leads because
Right.
they won't continuously. I like to call it walking them down the red carpet, right? You walk them down the red carpet to what? To the door, which is your service or product that you go ahead and the thing is when walking down the red carpet, right? You may trip a little bit.
Sure.
That they may say no one of the meetings, right? Someone might ask them to come take a picture, right? Someone's telling them about the business that you're doing is maybe not the right thing,
Yes.
right? And maybe security guard stops you because they don't recognize who you are, right? Maybe you got a new haircut or something, and you're like, bro, what the hell is going on? And then, long story short, is as long as you persevere and you keep going, you made it to the front door.
Yes.
And I that's how I think about it.
That's
And,
beautiful.
I also like to think about it like this: dentists, right? The people that work at the front desk at the dentist, right? Have you ever went to the dentist and not made another appointment?
Absolutely.
Book
That's
a meeting
beautiful.
from a meeting.
True. Very,
Book a
very
meeting from a
true.
meeting.
Right. And that's probably like a fine art
Mm-hmm.
of, because when you learn finance, like now you can speak finance,
Mm-hmm.
like it's your game, right? Well, then you got to shift it and you got to market it
Mm-hmm.
and you got to put yourself out there. And I think the scariest thing for anybody, anybody that asks me to like speak to their teams, I'm like, we've all heard no. And you know what the thing is? We know how hard that is because we take it personally. I tell people, I'm like, take that hat off when you get home. And it has nothing to do with you personally. But that lead might not be a lead today, but you never know where that lead is going.
Mm-hmm.
No
means no opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me how you recruit your people that come with you.
That's a good question. First is really, I don't really try to go after everybody.
Right.
That's one thing I don't do because
you don't work with shit.
I don't work with shit,
Yeah.
right? And the thing is back in my last company, when 2019 to 2021, 2022-ish, I was just trying to recruit everybody. And the thing is I found out that most people, they say they want to get rich, but they don't really want to get rich. You know what I mean?
They're not willing to dig your ass in there.
Man.
Get your hands dirty.
And I kind of got like, it's my first time entrepreneur. I'm like, bro, what the
Yeah.
Like, you telling me you want to get rich. I'm telling you exactly how to make money in this business. And you don't want to take action. I'm like, so, and that kind of made me mad and kind of got me frustrated a little bit. Because like, I was like, okay, but back to the process of recruiting. So I use a system called PS3.
Okay.
Right? Peak interest, you show the plan, and you utilize a three-way call to add credibility. It doesn't matter if you've been in your business or in your industry for years. You are always going to utilize a three-way call so they can add credibility to another story to what you're talking about. Right? So peaking interest. How do I peak interest? I use something called, we call it the perfect invite or the perfect four, right? This is something that I learned in my first company, and you pick up the phone, right? Obviously, you can do this through text as well, but when people hear your voice, your conviction, it's a lot stronger.
Absolutely.
Right?
Plus, how many text messages you get a day?
Exactly, right? And
Thousands.
it's funny because there's no conviction.
There's
in
no
texting.
authenticity.
Not at all.
There's no I got you and I know what it's agreed. And I think real entrepreneurs show up better in person than they do on a text or on a stage or on a Zoom.
I agree.
They show up better in person.
I agree. I think so because you're in that environment.
Yeah.
I think that environment is very key, and I think that's talking about getting people into my business. I utilize that peaking interest system, and I utilize the perfect four, right? And what the perfect four is a 4-step process. You go through it through normal. You go through it step by step, and trust me, you won't have a problem with it, right? So the first thing is you go ahead and you're in a hurry. So let's say I'm calling you, Deb, right? So ring. Hey, Deb, how you doing?
Hey, great. Little busy.
A little busy. Perfect. Look, I'm about to run into a podcast with Deb. Okay, I just wanted to call real quick, and this is the second part. I'm going to clear your schedule first. So I peaked interest. I was in a hurry, right? I'm going to go ahead and clear your schedule. So, hey, Deb, I know that you're busy right now, but what do you say you're doing like Tuesday, Thursday, like 7 p.m.?
Let me check my Google Calendar, see what's going on.
Perfect.
Yeah, I could probably do Tuesday at 7.
You can do Tuesday. Perfect, right? So then I'm going to go ahead and add value, right? And how do I add value? I give compliments. I give my explanation of service, right? And I basically tell people what I specialize in, right? So, I just wanted to call and see if you're free because I actually just got in something new. I'm extremely excited about it. And I just wanted to see if you could actually give me your opinion on what I just got into. I'm learning a lot of new information, and I would love to actually have your opinion. I value your opinion.
That's great. I do feel like that. I'm like, wow, nobody ever cares about my opinion.
Right.
What?
Right.
Yeah, damn, I want to talk to you now.
Right. So, and then you take it away. Because what happens if people start asking why? The thing is,
right.
People are either a suspect or a prospect.
Are you sure you're not Coach Burt's son?
I promise.
Coach Burt, you get down here to the studio, my friend.
So yeah,
DNA test going on here.
Hey man,
that would not be a bad run, my friend.
Man, custody. No,
right.
No, but
he's so damn cool. He'd probably be honored to have you as a son.
Man, I got that chance to spend time with him.
Yes.
In San Jose when he was out there at a
with
private
Andy
event.
Elliott, right?
Or no, this was that was in Arizona.
Yeah,
in San Jose, I got a chance to actually spend time with him, at a private event. Got to learn from him, and I actually got to really experience what it looks like and how real successful people move.
Right.
Like it's like crazy. He parked, went in there, did exactly what he needed to do, left. I was like, bro, what
the system is flawless.
It is.
Right. It is. This is what I tell people. I met him in August. Mm-hmm. So, no, not that far. I'm a newbie. I'm a newbie.
Too.
Right, that's all right. There's
October.
a special place. That's how we met each other,
exactly,
right? We're newbies. It's flawless. Work the system.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have the same drive and the same desire and the same goal mindset that he does. But when you leave, a room with him, if you don't have it, you're not meant to be an entrepreneur.
That's facts. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, like, forget a coffee. God knows he's got the freaking, I don't know what coffee, Coach Burt, that you have, but it is kick ass. And, right? So it is, when you leave, do you not feel like someone just lit you on fire?
I definitely feel like running through a wall. I feel like I can accomplish anything.
Truth. And this goes back to the coaching, like everybody needs a coach, but he does, same. I've been working with him since August. I just took off. And this is my favorite, not how who. Because I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do Talk to me about that. Talk to me how that resonates with you.
Now, before I get to that, I do want to finish the perfect four, right? Because the last step is you're going to take it away. Because what happens if they keep asking why? They're either a suspect or a prospect. So if they're a suspect and they keep asking you, what is this? You got what I learned from one of my mentors early on in my entrepreneurship career is the fortune isn't a follow-up. But in some cases, you have to make a fortune and then follow up. And then they'll be more likely to get started with you.
True.
And I see that now. 24 years old, full-time college student right now at Sacramento State. And people are seeing me traveling all over the world, making a good amount of money, right? It's not millions yet, right? But it's
You're right.
For my
You're
age.
Right around the corner. Yes.
Yeah, for my age, I probably make a lot more money than
anybody with your drive and your need to help. It's not just about money to you.
It's not.
It's about helping these families and helping these people to never be in a situation.
I agree.
And when you take it from that, the sky's the limit, right? You can do anything.
I agree.
So let me tackle this because we were talking with your people that are on the phone on the Zoom.
Let's do it.
What, tell me, you make the call on Tuesday?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, now guess what? The Bachelor's on.
Okay, perfect. So the thing is I ask people.
That sounds so pathetic. I don't watch The Bachelor.
No, it's funny.
I know The Bachelor's listening, and we totally love and respect you.
Right, we love and respect you.
We totally
but
do.
We don't watch the TV show, though.
Right, we don't watch your show, but we're going to read the highlights. We're totally going to read them. You're welcome to come on our show. Yeah. We'd love to have you.
I watch the clips on Instagram when they pop up on my feed.
Amen. And you look fabulous, and I hope you find your wife.
Right. But no, after we get on that call, right, let's say, oh, yeah, The Bachelor's on, right? It's a very emotional thing that they want to do. Hey, but honestly, Deb, is that really putting 6 to 7 figures in your pocket? Right? And the thing is, that's what I would legitimately, I don't care who they are, I want to ask them that. Hey, but is that going to put 6 to 7 figures in your pocket? Because I know this call will potentially put 6 to 7 figures in your pocket because I know it did for me.
Right.
So it's like,
right.
It's like, bro,
bam,
you could do it.
Right. And it's so true because Talia was in here earlier and I'm so happy you got to meet her. She rocks.
Blessing.
She totally rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yeah, and because this is what I say, and I think for me, because I'm not intimidating, and I do have this just love of human beings. I'm like
A mama love.
truly a mama love, and like me, I'm like I'm at the top. Let's huddle everybody. Come on up with me. How's that working out for you?
Man, I think that's
and it's not to be condescending.
no, definitely. Developing people is the hardest thing to do in the world. Leadership
Truth.
is the highest paid position in the world,
Yes.
right? So the thing is, why did someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Charles Schwab started working for American Steel, that
Okay.
Dale Carnegie or Andrew Carnegie or something like that. Somebody owned, I forgot exactly who owned the steel company. He was the richest man in the world. I think it was on Andrew Carnegie. That's
Okay.
definitely who owned it. And then Charles Schwab came and actually worked with him, right? But the thing is Charles Schwab was paid so much because he knew how to deal with people.
Right.
And the thing is I tell my people, right, read and listen to How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes.
Right? Because I think
Amazing.
that's if you can get along with anybody, man, you can sell to anybody.
Absolutely.
If you can sell to anybody, you can make money in any type of group.
Absolutely.
You
And when
know?
you can take yourself out of your space and put yourself in their space, it changes everything, right? How many salesmen, that you've come across, you're like, they don't give a shit about me.
Man, I think it's because of that large corporate, right, ideology that we have, right?
Yeah.
I have my sales manager, I have maybe a sales assistant, and then I have all these sales agents that's really, some are doing well, some aren't,
Yeah.
right? The 20-80 rule, 20% of sales agents will actually do better than 80%
Right.
of the sales agents. So
Right.
also 20% of the work that you do will amount to 80% of the
Yeah.
value that you create. So I think that developing people is definitely hard, right? Because some people may not be motivated that day.
Right.
Some people may
Right.
have some shit going on in their life.
Yep.
It's funny. You met the young man Travis, right?
Yes.
And I when I talk about
Travis rocks, by the way.
He
does.
does.
He's
He's
cool.
a phenomenal
He is a
individual,
cool
man.
guy. Yes, he is.
And
We're going to get him to Dallas. We're getting him to Dallas.
He'll drive to Dallas easily.
Yeah.
But,
Cool guy.
He's definitely very phenomenal. I actually met him in my first company.
Really?
And that shows connections. How don't matter. You can meet somebody in elementary school and they'll come back
Amen.
around. You could meet somebody in your last company
Right.
and they'll come back around only
Treat
because
people correctly.
treat people correctly, but only because of something that you said, right? What is my brand and recognition like?
Right.
Right? Because if I didn't have a good work ethic in that first company, Travis probably would never did business with me. He'd be like, "Oh, who the fuck is this
Right.
scump?" Right?
Right.
It's-
I don't need to waste my time with him.
Exactly, right? But because I showed that, look, I really do care about you.
Yeah.
Right? And I genuinely want to see him win.
Absolutely.
Like, we
do.
talk to each other on a day-to-day, like maybe like every other day. And man, like it's I say that because there was a period of time where he moved from Houston to Austin, and we at that time we called it the storm. I was like, bro, the storm's almost over, bro. The storm's almost over, bro.
Love that.
And man, literally the last couple of weeks he's been working so hard, been doing so many great
Really?
things, man. And it's like, if I didn't care about that person, if I didn't plant
Right.
that seed and nurture
Right.
I legitimately call him my brother. Like my brother now. Where would he be at today? He
Yes.
probably, because he does have a lot of other things he does. He's in Airbnb. He's in a food truck industry,
What?
right?
I
So
didn't know
anybody
all
that
that.
needs food trucks for an event, or you need to
Yeah.
buy a food truck, you gotta talk to Travis
Right.
Plaza.
If you're in the Texas area.
Yes, if you're in
Well,
the Texas
definitely.
area.
Yeah, it is, and that's important because we were talking earlier about Jake and you know,
Phenomenal guy. Shout out to you,
Thank
Jake.
you. Yeah, Jake, we love you. This is a big day for
Booyah.
Jake,
Yes,
right?
sir.
This is a huge day for Jake, and I'm honestly, I would be nowhere without Jake. But when you invest in your people and when you put the time, it is as important for me for his sustainable future as it is for mine. And, we talk about things and we're very, casual with each other. And I truly, he has become family to me. But it is so important that he doesn't walk away with just leaving a job. It's not a job.
It's a lifestyle.
I want him to see the future. I want him to build sustainable income for himself and for his family. And to me, when you're coaching people and you're bringing people on this ride, is it so obvious the people that you're like, yes, I cannot wait to see them win?
I think it is obvious, right? However, some people, we'll go back to that environment. Most people never had an environment where they were supported or really pushed to succeed.
Sir, I am that person.
Right.
I am that
Exactly.
chick. I am that chick.
So when people are like excited that, oh, I'm gonna help him win, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with him, bro? Like, you want me to win?
They take it inward. They're like, well, no one ever wanted me to win. And
Right,
blah, 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 blah. Right, exactly.
Right.
That's so sad.
It is. Because,
I know, I lived that way for a long time.
Man, because the thing is, well, now that we know,
right,
you can accomplish literally anything that you want.
Right.
Right? Because
anything that you want.
A thought.
Block out the noise. Because you know what? If they're paying attention to you, they're not focusing on something in themselves. And that took me, I think that is a very, that's an amazing statement. That's an enormous statement for me, right? If you're so busy pointing out my flaws or what you don't think is good in me, what's wrong with you?
Man, look in the mirror.
Look in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
And when you can step out of that situation and realize that you are just one step away. You're one step away from doing anything that this world has to offer you.
Man, that's
you
so
can
true.
do anything. But I love when I was seeing you with your people, I can feel that you coach them that way.
Definitely.
Like you're there. You're an enormous support system for them.
Definitely. I think that's very important.
Absolutely.
Being a support system there, and go back to what you actually, Coach Bird says, not what, but who.
Who?
Right? And the
not
thing
how
is,
who.
Not how who, right? So, man, that completely blew my mind when he instilled that concept into me, because I was like, man, I got to do all this stuff for myself.
Right.
I got to get the sales, and you can't.
You can't be the best at what you're doing.
You cannot.
If you're filling in everything else. And guess what? You need a team of fabulous, amazing people. You do. I'm so damn proud of my team.
Man.
You don't even know. I brag about these people. Like, you don't even know.
Man, I think I was just thinking about this the other day. I put my team up against any other sales team. I don't care.
That's amazing.
I don't care how big your team is.
Yeah.
Right. If you give us like a long enough period, we'll
absolutely
we'll shake it up. Because I think the system that we have is definitely it's unbreakable. Right. Since August, I've been able to help at least 6 to 7 people earn between $3,000 to $5,000 a month.
That is incredible.
Right. In the first 90 days of joining business.
That is incredible.
So the thing is
life-changing, motivating.
Life-changing, and the thing is, if people can literally just follow a simple system, right? A system stands for saving yourself sanity, time, energy, and money. Then you can literally create whatever you want.
Say that again one more time for our listeners very slowly. Listen to this. Facts, people.
Your system stands for saving yourself sanity, time, energy, and money. Okay?
Truth.
Because Patrick talks about this a lot. He talks about you cannot scale a company. You cannot do anything in a company, make it bigger at all without systems.
You can't.
And the thing is I think that we have a great system inside Connect Agency because our onboarding system is so smooth, right? And the only thing that really makes it rough is if the other person isn't willing to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Right. And the thing is, so people that are out there right now that are looking for opportunity, trust me, okay? If you are looking for opportunity and you get an opportunity, do not be afraid to take action because the action that you take will literally change your life and you won't even know it.
Yes.
And the thing is like people think that we have to take these massive steps.
Nope.
Right? But if you can just break it down into little bitty steps.
Right.
That will amount to a massive step over time.
Right.
But the thing is, you have to be able to persevere through those little steps to be able to make that amount of, monumental step.
Yes.
So I think
tell people you're one uncomfortable action.
That's so true.
Away from like doing anything you could ever want to do. Right. It's just, it's unbelievable. And it's just, thank God for leaders like you, Thank God for
leaders like you. Talk about,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Goodness.
Like, motivate those people, And you're same way. We're cut from the same cloth. We want everybody to win, And it is so important to take in. And, Tally and I were talking about fear, how it's such a big Our fear of being judged, our fear of what other people, your generation,
Man.
Harvard statistic, your generation, my generation, even though I'm 29, right? We're going to remember
29.
that dinner. We're going to be like, Deb's 29.
29.
We're going to keep chanting that.
Hey, she need to get ID'd.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Trevor, you got that? Yeah, sure. We're breaking
She
out
need
ID
ID.
tonight. God, Trevor, we love him. So my generation was like 401k, roof over your head, and please get people back to that. Your generation, their number one fear is what people think of them. 91%. Their biggest fear is what other people think of them.
Man,
What do you think of that?
I think that is totally accurate.
Yeah, totally accurate.
And I think that's why I don't have a lot of friends. I have a lot
Hey, you got
of...
me and Trevor.
Yeah,
I think you're totally
we're locked in.
fine.
Yeah, we're locked
I
in
think you
for
get Brad's
sure.
coming to dinner. I think we're cool. We got Talia.
Yeah. So it's like it's funny I say that because the people that I am friends with, right? They're all driven individuals.
Awesome.
Like most of them are driven individuals. We might not be in the same industry,
Right.
right? But they're driven individuals. You know,
Cool, that's
and the
great.
thing is I truly believe that this generation that I'm a part of, which is very unfortunate,
Right.
is
It's
soft.
kinda sad. It's
Soft. Like
Soft, yeah.
participation trophy. You don't have to earn for. You,
know,
don't have
once
to
you
work
get old,
for anything.
you buy a smaller house, you make your kids take that out of your house. You like take that shit with you.
Right. Like because I come from an area in the world where if you didn't work your ass off, you wasn't getting shit.
You were, yeah. You were just going to be a number.
Man, and the thing is, coming from Oakland, California, we are a very competitive, athletic, city, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. It's sad because I think athletics are starting to die through the youth and through high school and stuff like that because Oakland Athletic League for baseball when I went to school really wasn't that good, right? It was okay, but it really wasn't that good. And the thing is I think that being in that competitive state growing up, right, allowed me to endure, right, not caring what other people thought. And the thing is, like, if you continue to care about what other people think, you're living their life.
Amen.
You're not living your own life.
Nope.
And I think that when people, and I like this a lot, people try to tell me how to live my life, I shut it down real quick. Because,
Yeah.
like, why am I listening to you? Do you have the results that I want? Do you, like, the only reason why I would care if someone thought something about me, if it was like, Michael Burt, Coach
Right.
Andy Elliott,
Right.
Alex Ramosi, people that are actually successful. Because the
Right.
fact is that I'm trying to be around you. I don't care about these other little
Right.
people that aren't trying to really get success.
But bravo to you to finding that out this young because that's society, right? That's the fear base that stops people from elevating to another level.
Well, I also want to add something because we also have like a non-bullying policy in our schools now.
Right.
I was telling you about this, right? I grew up with a kid. He lives in Alabama now. Shout out to you, James. I love you, bro. He used to call me 2%, right? Because my father's black, my mother's white.
Right.
I look like I could be Hispanic, Filipino, Hawaiian.
You got the best of both. You're a
Right.
very handsome dude. You
I
got the
appreciate
best of
that.
both.
Thank
you really did.
But growing up, I was either too white to hang out with the black kids, or I was either too black. I talked too black to hang out with the white kids. But the thing is, I found my group of people that I hung out with, some Asians, right, all this
Right.
other stuff. But
Find your tribe.
yeah, the thing is
Find your
that
tribe.
we are able to basically come together with all these people, connect with all these people, and then
Yes.
be able to create something with those people.
Yes.
And I forgot what the heck I was about to say, but
So good that you you never got in your way, right? Because I work with a lot of people that are your age, and I got to rewire them to get them, out of their own
Man.
way. So, kudos to your parents. Because good people come from other good people for sure.
I
But
love
to
my
learn,
parents.
I know you do. That's amazing. I love to hear that. But we're kind of creatures of our environment. And
I agree.
unfortunately, we're in a world where there's people working all the time, and I think we're kind of quick to just give up on things.
That's true. Instant gratification.
Right, instant gratification. And we know, and you now know, that anything worth having is worth working for.
That's so true.
But we grew up in a world where we're just like, okay, well, let's just torch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a real concern to me. Like with the people that I work with that are young, I'm like, this is not the end all be all.
Right.
And it's really hard to get that through their heads.
It's funny because I'm a firm believer that you get your programming from your authorities, from the school system, stuff like that, right? And the thing is I had to reprogram myself.
Right.
When I was 19, before all I knew was baseball and a little bit of school. Right. Barely even knew school.
Right.
I knew a lot about baseball.
It was a means to baseball.
Exactly. It was just a stepping stool to baseball. But the thing is I had to change my programming, my mind frame, right? Because we call it a paradigm shift in entrepreneurship, right? Because I had to change the way that I thought about how I perceived the world.
Right.
And even
it is.
I grew up very, very liberal, right? Because as a young kid, you think that the world is perfect.
Absolutely.
And you think that everybody deserves everything.
This is the way it works,
yeah,
right? This is the way we work.
And because I've, ever since I got into business, I've been really seeing like what really is going on and how, maybe we may be hindering people because we're not raising the bar for them.
Yep.
And I was fortunate enough to be able to access external resources to be able to learn new information, input new information in my head. And now I think the way that I think. And I think that if people want to change their mindset, they just have to start taking action and actually being open-minded, because I think a lot of people say they're open-minded.
They're not.
They're not open-minded.
They're not open-minded.
That's
like
open-minded.
Something I consciously work on a daily basis. I'm like, and it's coaching. Like we're told non-judgmental, we're supposed to be, and I have to sometimes, as a mom, and I got to pull myself back and be like, is that really the situation, Deb? Or are you just kind of going in with your own opinion?
That's true. And I'm glad that you said that, because becoming aware of something, right? There's something that I learned from Kevin Trudeau. He's big in like the elite classes and stuff like that. He talks about something called a teachability index, right? So how this works is you have two components of this teachability index. You have what's your willingness to learn, and then what's your willingness to accept change.
Right.
Okay. So the thing is you can have, let's just say this on a scale from 1 to 10. You can have a 10 willingness to learn, right? You can learn all the new information you want, right? And that's probably most people on a day-to-day basis. They want to learn, but they don't have a willingness to change. They don't have a willingness to accept change. Right. And the thing is once you work with patients and stuff like that. And my mom, she actually works with people that's just getting out of prison and trying to get a job and stuff like that.
I have so much respect for that.
Because I'll tell you my mother's story in a minute, so you can actually understand why she's in that position now. But the thing is dang it, I was talking to my mom and I forgot what the heck I was saying. But the teachability index, if you're not willing to accept change, all this information that you learn is nothing. And I forgot who said it, but he says knowing something and not taking action is basically not knowing it at all.
Exactly. What's the point?
What's the point, right? And so you're doing all this studying, you're doing all this learning, and you're not willing to take action. You're not willing to change just a little bit. Right. Because the thing is, you don't really have
pivot?
to.
Yeah, you gotta pivot.
Yeah, you don't really have to change everything in life. You just have to change specific things that's holding you back.
Exactly. What's not working?
Yeah, what's not working? Is your mindset not working?
Right.
Is your skill set not working?
Right.
Right. Is your heart not working?
Right.
Is your confidence not working?
Right.
What's not working? Right.
And all of that is fixable. Mm-hmm. Like I tell people that all the time. But changing your mindset about things,
man,
it's mind exploding. Right. It'll change the way you get dressed in the morning. Mm-hmm. It'll change what you put in your coffee. It'll change everything, right?
That's crazy.
It is so true because, when you're in a mindset that is clouded and distorted and angry or upset, whatever it is, everything comes from that. 90% of your decisions come from that place. So if you can just part the clouds.
And tell me how important is decision making in life.
And
How important is that?
That's all you do. That's all we do all day long is make decisions, right? We don't consciously even, but from the second you wake up to your feet on the ground to showers, every single day, they say we are making our brain makes 60,000 decisions a day.
Man.
Right? Now we don't do it consciously anymore, right. But if you can shift even 1% your mindset, just think of the doors that open.
Doors that open. I'm so glad you said it. 'Cause I was just thinking about how when I first got into entrepreneurship, my mind was like a box. Everything was inside this box. But once my doors has opened, I started to think bigger. I started to do bigger. I started to work with people that were way bigger than me. Right. So it's
endless.
That open-mindedness, right? Being aware that you're not where you want to be, but you can still work towards getting there.
Right.
And that's the thing. And most people say, "Oh no, I suck. I can't do this. I don't have the right yada yada yada." Right?
Those are excuses.
Those are excuses, right? First and foremost.
It was so in my own existence. I had to take a hard look at what was not working. And there was a shit ton of stuff that wasn't working. Right? And then what do we do now? I mean, I could have fallen into a pattern of I'm somebody's, ex-wife.
Right.
Is that the legacy I want to leave? Is that what I want talked about? That's not helping me touch another person if I don't do it. And we had talked about this 1%. 1% of your day is 15 minutes.
I'm so glad you reminded me of that. Oh my goodness.
And
that's so powerful.
It is 15 minutes of your day. Think of how much time people use scrolling. I'm not bashing social media or anything else, but think of how much time. I'm going to be honest, I've sat in Target longer than that trying to pick out a damn tablecloth.
Target. That's
blue,
hilarious.
green, you know what I mean? That's all it takes. And then when it finally hit me that's all it took was just to step out of the old Deb that was not working. That's it. And honor that chick because she was cool and she'd been through a lot. And I have a lot of respect for that woman. But that is not how I'm showing up anymore.
I like that. Basically you're making yourself you're a new person. You're recreating
new person,
yourself. Yeah.
Right?
I love that.
Right. And it's really funny because we were talking about earlier when you were talking about your friends. When you grow into what you're becoming, even with the business, you're successful, you're going back to school, you've got this amazing presence. I mean, you are more well-spoken than most 50-year-old men that I know.
I appreciate that.
And educated. So obviously you're doing the work. Some things fall off. There's going to be people that aren't going to be there. There's going to be people that are going to say you can't do it. There's going to be people to question. But those people weren't meant to be there anyway.
Man, that's so true. And it's crazy because, man, Deb, I used to get furious because, ever since I was 4 or 5 years old, I remember sitting on this bunk bed that my parents had got me, right? And all I saw was my lights and my name in stars and lights, right? And I always knew that I always had the desire to be great in something, right?
Awesome.
And actually become wealthy, right? I'm not saying that my parents were extremely broke when I was young, but through a period of time, probably from 2008 to 2019 is when my family was in complete turmoil. Okay. And we're talking about environment. We're talking about how to become successful. We're talking about, learning new stuff. And the thing is 2008, my mom got fired from her job. My dad just got out of jail when Obama got elected. The day of, I remember we went to Round Table, and that was my first time tasting beer. They had a big pitcher of beer. I put my finger in, I tasted. I was like, "This shit's nasty as fuck." Now I love beer.
I'm gonna be a millionaire, so I don't have to ever drink
exactly,
this.
Right, exactly. So
we gotta get Bradley in here with this tequila story.
Hey, I love that, man. And fast forward later, freshman year of high school. My mother always came to my baseball games, always came to my basketball games.
Awesome.
But there was this one day that she wasn't there.
Wow.
The one day she wasn't there. And I knew something was wrong. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Right? My dad picks me up from my basketball game. he's like, you want to drive? You know, because I've been driving since I was like 12, 11, right? Even probably younger than that, right? So he's like,
That's
you want
probably
drive?
common in California, I'd
Right.
imagine, right?
You know, it is, man. Because, you know, I've been seeing little kids that's younger than, you know, that's like 12, 13 driving. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? Like, that was me? Like, that's crazy. But, you know, my mother, she got indicted by the feds. So she was shipping drugs across the state line, right? And then she got
Wow.
snitched on. So she had to do 4 years in a federal prison camp, right?
Whoa.
In Phoenix, Arizona.
Whoa.
Yes.
And how old were you?
I was only 14 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, so that threw me for a loop.
I can't even imagine.
My mom was the real breadwinner at the time.
Yeah.
Right. And this
you're a rock. She's your chick.
Man, that's my woman.
Yeah.
That's my
I
woman.
love that.
You know, and it's crazy. But my dad, he owned a landscaping company, and he actually had to really, and this is where I really see the entrepreneurship in me from him, because he didn't have anything, Deb. Anything.
Wow.
Nothing. Right.
Wow.
A garage with tools. That's all he had.
Right.
Right. And the thing is he worked his ass off every day. And then he put food on the table. You know, when my mom went, she was in like in between going to jail and staying home for a minute.
Yeah.
And she helped us move. We squatted in his house next door, right? So we were living in his duplex. We came out. The person that lived in the apartment complex to the left of us, he actually I think they had lost the building, or the landlord had died or something like that, right? So me and my father, we moved and we squatted into that building.
Unbelievable.
And it was crazy because we were there for at least like 2 years, something like that.
What?
Yeah. So and this is what Oakland is really like. People don't
Right.
understand that.
Right. Exactly.
So
and we wonder why they're closing the In-N-Out
right.
burgers, right?
man, I'm so pissed that that's happening because I
know.
love In-N-Out, man.
I know you do.
And that's right down the street from my parents' house,
I'll
man.
get you some
Man,
In-N-Out, my friend.
yeah. So anyway, my father worked his ass off. Shows me how if you just work hard, you can make anything happen.
I love that.
And
That you
boom.
had that as a role model.
Man, because it's funny. See, my dad must have had that work ethic when he was selling dope. That's the thing,
right.
bro.
Well, hustle is hustle.
Right, hustle.
Right.
But now he basically, and this is actually for people that really they say that, okay, yeah, I have hustle and something else. I love doing this and something else, but now that I do this, I don't have that same drive, right? It's
Gotta
because
follow your
that because
passion.
goal, yeah, that because goal. My dad,
Right.
because I have to put food on the table to provide for my
Yes.
son. I have to go do this. And I think people need to really, it's not what you feel.
Right.
It's what you need to do.
It's what you need to do.
And we all
Survival.
deal with that.
It's survival mode.
Yeah.
I work a lot with trauma, trauma victims, and I went into it to, essentially heal my own trauma.
Right.
And when you're living in that fight or flight, right? Like you're in constant survival mode. It's really the only way that, and credit to him, because look at what he raised.
Man, he raised a beast.
He did still in survival mode. Because I'll tell you, when you're locked into that, it is damn hard to get through the day.
It is.
Let alone raise this rock star.
Man, it's funny because in that time we used to fight a lot because I was always away from home playing baseball, and I would do some stupid stuff here and there. I'm not saying I was perfect, but most of the time I was at practice. And my dad my dad did think that I was doing other stupid stuff, and I don't blame him.
Right.
I was coming home at like 7 o'clock at night after practice because I had to catch. So I went to school all the way in North Oakland. North Oakland's like a 20-30 minute drive with traffic across the city.
Wow.
So I used to catch that on BART. So that was on BART is like Bay Area Rapid Transit. It's like a train system or bus. So catching bus or BART there, that's like another 45 to an hour. So I would
At a very young age.
At a very young age. Mind you, I'm playing baseball after school.
I'm going to go ahead and say my daughter is older than you and has never been on public transportation.
Yeah, trust me, her
she
life
didn't
will
even
change.
want to get on a school bus.
Yeah, her life will change. Trust me, the stuff I've seen on public transportation is insane.
Right.
But
I'm sure in Oakland, you
man,
see some stuff.
Man, I would tell you some of the craziest stories. Maybe off camera, I'll tell you some of the craziest stories. But
we'll do a whole nother podcast on crazy stories because I love that.
Man, yeah,
I love that.
Perfect. I'll give you a preliminary story, and then we'll
just
do
go.
it again.
We'll just go. Right.
But no, I think it was really my parents because my mother, she went to Georgia Tech,
Right.
so she graduated from Georgia Tech. She as an engineer, right?
Unbelievable.
And the thing is back then she was telling me about this. I never really realized it, but women never were engineers, and my mother really made that shit happen. And she told me, she was like, my professor used to like talk shit to me, so like, she
They
made
are
that
the
shit happen.
smartest people in the world, engineers, by the way.
I love that. Yeah, she is very
They're
smart.
totally ridiculously
She's so smart. She doesn't have common sense.
Right.
And that's how smart she is. And me and my dad laugh about her
I
like
feel
that all
every
the time.
single thing of that. Right, exactly.
But
Right.
but no, I love my
You
parents.
can
to death.
pick out of a freaking wine list of 600 fucking bottles of wine, but you can't figure out how they. Right. True.
Yeah, right. My mom has no sense of direction. Me and my dad laugh about this all the time because we'll go somewhere, and she'll be like, "Where are we?" I'm like, "You didn't see where we went, bro."
Just don't look up, man.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
look up.
Exactly. But long story short, me and my dad, we moved into this other studio apartment when I was about a junior in high school, right? And this is actually when I started doing better in school, right? As a junior, I realized I was like, man, like, if I don't get my shit together, bro, like, I'm never gonna be able to play baseball
Yep.
and get my shit together.
Yep.
So that's what I really want to do. I really wanted to play baseball. So I got my shit together junior year. Senior year, like a month before I graduated, mom got out of jail, so she got to
Awesome.
see me graduate, which
That's
was a blessing.
amazing.
Which was a
Yes.
blessing. And then, ever since then, my mom's been working for adult probation in San Francisco, helping
That's
people
incredible.
that were drug addicts or were incarcerated, help them get back into the field.
Love this.
So she's
This is
very
how we
impactful.
turn lemons into lemonade.
Exactly.
I love these stories. Like blah, they light me up.
And if you want to add a little flavor, put some strawberry in there.
Put some strawberry in there,
Yep,
right?
yep.
That's amazing.
But-
So amazed, you got to see you graduate.
yeah, so graduated and then got the chance to play baseball in junior college. And my mom, she was working at Joe's Crab Shack on Pier 39th or
Got
Pier
it.
40th or something like that. And she was working at Rainforest Cafe. I honor my mom because she is such a hard worker. Like,
Ever since I met you, you've been talking about your mom
Man,
and how
'cause,
fabulous she is.
my mom and
So
my dad
shout
are
out to
really
your
the best.
mom, man. I
Yeah.
got to meet this mom.
Yeah, you do.
I totally gotta
You
meet
guys
this
will
mom.
definitely love each other.
Yeah,
You guys-
I
you-
already love her.
You guys are definitely very similar when it comes to how driven you guys are.
Oh, that's
Definitely.
awesome.
So, but yeah, man, my parents really instilled a lot in me about never quitting. There used to be times where I sucked at baseball when I first started playing baseball. I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this, da da da. And then they were like, you know what, son, just keep going,
Keep going.
keep going.
Yeah.
And I kept going, and now look where it got me. I got
Yes.
a chance to get out of the hood, and
I mean, right.
it's a blessing.
It is an incredible Cinderella story.
Definitely.
For somebody your
I
age.
just
So,
need my glass shoe.
right. And by the way, I'm digging the kicks.
Oh, thank you.
So, listen, I have a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of viewers. I've got that have people your age, and I hear a lot of this. Well, they're young and they don't really know. Tell me, like, if you can light how do we do this? How do we start moving people forward and out of I don't have the right cell phone.
There's two things: accountability and tolerance, right? Because I feel like now we're in such a tolerant society that you can say, do, or whatever you want, and no one will tell you about yourself.
Truth.
And the thing is as young people, we're not the smartest, we're not the most wise, we're probably the most dumbest. From 19 to 25, you're probably going to be the dumbest you ever are in your life, right? Because you're getting into the
But
new
you'll probably
world.
have the most fun, but yes
Yes,
you
you're
probably
probably-
will.
yeah.
You know nothing.
Yeah, you know nothing, right?
And
the
you don't
thing is-
realize that till you're about 40.
right? And
And you're like, I don't know anything.
I think about that today. Like, dang, at 19, I didn't know shit. If I knew what I knew now at 19,
Right.
I want people
Where would you be, right?
and I want people to think about that right now. Like, okay, you may be 25, 26, 28, 29, like you, right?
Right.
But
Right,
if you go
thank you,
back,
sir.
but if you go back, 5 years, what the hell were you doing 5 years ago? Did you
Right.
change anything from that 5 years?
Right.
But, so the thing is people that's young, they got to realize we're not putting up with your bullshit anymore. That's
love
the thing.
that.
Because the thing is, all these young people, they feel entitled. Oh, I deserve this because I'm a Gen Z or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, bro, like you
Right.
haven't done anything.
You know what I tell people is I'm like, if you start with a set of boundaries, right? The
that's
boundary is that's not tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
And you understand that everything even for adults, let me you start with the boundary and everything else is just an excuse. We don't alter the boundary for the situation. The boundary stays the same.
Facts.
And when you come from it at that point of view, there aren't, well, today this happened or whatever. And you go back to the core reason and the core values of what you want.
That's true.
And, you sit with those, and then you don't move for the circumstance because we're an excuse-driven society.
Man, participation trophy.
Participation trophy.
I need to tolerate everything.
Right.
Hey, Deb.
Right.
Don't tell me about myself because I'm young.
Right. Right. Hey, exactly.
You're gonna hurt my feelings, Deb, if you say something about me. So just hold on. Please don't say anything. Right.
Right.
I'm like, bro, what the
And I love that you already have that figured out. Because let me tell you, there are 55-year-old human beings. They're like, that really isn't sitting with me well. Okay, well,
Soft.
It doesn't really have to. I mean, that's fine. It's still the fact.
Soft.
You can figure it, either way you want. And this is, as you know, we are in an industry that there's always somebody step ahead of you.
There's always another level.
There is.
Always.
There's always somebody. And everybody's like, well, why do you work every day? I'm like, because you know what? There's somebody better than me.
Man, oh my God, that hits hard. Somebody else is working when you're not working.
Right.
I want you to really think about that. So when you're asleep,
right.
Somebody else is still working.
Right. And somebody is better. When I was talking to your team there about sharpening your skills.
Man, that's
sharpening
so
your
important.
skills, right? There's somebody better than me. And that plagues me.
Man.
That there's somebody that's treating people better than I'm treating them. There's somebody giving, changing people's lives better than I'm doing them. You're damn right I'm on top of my game.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Because it's a personal. It's a money thing for everybody, right? But to me, it's like I have poured my heart and soul. I've told my story that I hid for years to make people's lives better. So they didn't ever have to feel 1 ounce or a minimal of what I had to feel. And somebody who doesn't have anywhere near the credentials or the feelings that I felt is better than me. That's what motivates me.
Yeah, I think that's that willing to learn and willing to change.
Yes.
That's that, because, most people are so arrogant. Oh, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. And sometimes it's good to say that you're the best. I'm not saying don't say that.
Yeah.
Because, I think that I'm the best in what I do.
Right.
Right. But there's people that's making more money than me. So,
right.
Essentially, I'm not really the best.
Right.
But I'm going to believe that I'm the best so I can achieve the best.
Absolutely.
Right. But I do think that, you have to be willing to change. Right. You're not the best. So what can you do today to help you change for the better?
You know what you can do? You can do the 1%.
The 15 minutes
a day. The 15 minutes a day.
Because if you think about it, let's just say you do 5% a day.
Right, that's it. 5%.
That's it. That's only about an hour and a half.
That's incredible.
20 minutes.
Right. I tell my clients, I'm like, when they're like, I can't, I'm like, set a timer, 15 minutes. Call me back.
Wow, I just learned something new. Willingness to learn. I just learned something new. And it's funny because I think I'm gonna point on this for a minute before I get into what I was gonna say. We are so involved into social media, right?
Totally.
If people want to change their mind, they have to change their feed.
Yes.
That's what they don't understand. Right now, I have feed of Andy, the big buff Andy, and then the Andy Elliott, right? I have both Gary V. I see David Meltzer. I see so many just positive, reinforcing, success-minded individuals on my feed that I have no choice but to think success.
Well, we are the company we keep.
Exactly.
I tell people that all the time,
Your
like, well,
environment.
I can't, exactly. Your landscape. You morph into your landscape. And when people are like, well, but we've been friends for 50 years.
So?
How much longer you keep putting out that fire? And, that's an anchor.
Caring about what they think.
Yep.
Which means you're going to live their life.
Yep. And that's exactly what happened to me. And guess what? After all that mess, I came out with the people that were supposed to be there.
Exactly.
And I thank God every day for those people.
Exactly.
But and that's it. Because ultimately, you got to grow yourself.
Definitely.
You're in charge of your own.
Exactly. So speaking on growing,
let's talk about it.
I just learned something new that helps people actually get more work done.
Let's hear it.
And so, especially being in entrepreneurship, You have so many tasks to do. You have this website. You have this lead that you have to work on. You have this marketing that you have to do. You have to record. You have to
Every
go
day.
talk to this person. So many things that's on your mind. But if you really break it down simpler and you just focus on one task for 90 minutes, zero distraction. It's called 190-0. Okay.
Love this.
You focus on one task. Okay. So what is that one task? Maybe I need to be hitting the phones. I need to be hitting my hit list or my farmers list or my red zone list.
So how do you determine what is the most important thing to hit?
Got you. So 20-80 rule, right?
Okay.
What I ask myself every day, what are the 20% of actions that I can do that can produce the most amount of income, right? And if you're in sales or if you're in business, the only way you're going to make money is if you get sales.
Right.
So
exactly. There's only one way to do it.
There's only one way to do it. So what do you have to focus on to make the 80% of value? You have to focus on getting leads, prospecting, funneling those leads into a selling system where you can actually close that deal, right? Now that you close that deal, what's the onboarding system to get them following through with you? So not only they can get success, but they can also give you some referrals.
Absolutely.
You know,
right.
so I think that's very important. That's probably like my 20% of things. The 80% is probably like, doing podcasts with you, right?
Exactly.
Expanding my influence
Getting to hang
on people.
out with your peeps,
right?
and really get to show your business talents and express just like what a cool guy you are.
I appreciate that because we definitely connected on that personality thing when we first met.
Yes.
So you're just as cool as I think I am. So,
oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's an honor. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Well,
so tell me more about this 90.
Yeah. So the reason why I was saying that you need to change your feed, okay, is because I learned it on Instagram. And the thing is we're on social media all day. I will not lie to you. I am on social media a lot. I'm scrolling. I'm laughing at stuff. I'm learning stuff. Right. And the thing is like, if you're going to be on social media, you might as well be productive being on social media.
Amen. And surround yourself with people that are going to fire you up.
Exactly.
Like, let's go.
Exactly. So that's that. So I was scrolling down this thing and he talked about how laser focus is the only thing that's going to help you win, right? You can have a desire to win. You can have the information, you can have everything that you need to win, but if you're not focused on the goal, focused on obtaining the success, it's not going to happen. So how do you focus on the success? You focus on one thing, which should be those 20% of actions that you do.
Absolutely.
And focus on that for about 90 minutes each.
Right.
And then you have no distractions. So maybe you may be in a room, you may turn your phone on, do not disturb or something, or you may, you may even go to a coffee shop or something where it's very quiet.
Right. Get somewhere where you can get that free thinking, non-distraction.
That environment.
And, listen, so you're in business, you're in finance. Tell people the most important thing to do is to get some undistracted time.
Definitely. I think, I think the main reason why people don't have direction or may not have any results on a day-to-day basis is because they don't plan a day out.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
A to B, Coach Burt.
A to B, right?
I do A to B on Sundays, and I break it down every morning.
Exactly.
A to B.
Exactly.
I'm here. Here's what I want to be.
Ever since he said start doing that on a day-to-day basis, because I learned from Brian Tracy, the GOAT, to actually write your goal down every morning. So then I said, okay, if he's talking about A to B.
He is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT, right? So another GOAT, Coach Burt, is talking about go to A to B and write that down every day. So I'm like, okay, if I need to write my goals down, and doing my A to B is writing where I am to getting to my goals. That's basically writing down my goals. I need to do that every day. So that made sense.
Right.
And that's the thing. If you surround yourself with the right information, I'm going to talk about environment in a minute, because I think that's a major reason why a lot of people may not be where they want to be.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But right now, you gotta learn. You gotta learn new information, because the information that you collect will sit in your mind, and then you go get new information that will connect those two together, and it will create an astonishing idea that can produce a lot of revenue for you.
Yes.
And I'm actually
and don't get stuck in one way.
Exactly.
You know, this goes back to how's that working out for you?
Yeah, exactly.
We get stuck in patterns. I'm like, that's
how's
not
that
working. I know. I say that with all love to my clients.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, well, that's thanks for sharing, because it is important to hear the background. But then I'm like, well, how's that working out for you? Mm-hmm. How
can I help you?
Yeah, let's forget that.
Exactly.
Unless you're telling me that this is the best day of your life and you're calling me to be like, Deb, I want to share this day with you. Let's get it. Let's move past that.
Yep. Let's I am a firm believer that how you deal with stress is how successful you will be, right?
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to be honest, I wasn't good up until recently.
And
I'm going to be honest.
It's a skill.
It's a skill.
And that's exactly what we're talking about today, that you have to develop these skills.
Yes.
And how...
it was out shooting free throws every day. That's what I...
Exactly.
Like, I had to
put in
learn.
reps up.
Well, first, I think I had to realize that I'm human, right? I'm
Nobody's
one
perfect.
person. And there was a lot of shit I was taking personally I didn't need to take personally. Just drop it, Deb. Nobody's staying up at night worrying about that you're staying up at night. Just get over it.
That's so true.
Get over yourself.
Don't worry about the
No
outcome.
one's crying. No, and no one is coming to save you, Deb.
This ain't no practice life.
Exactly. And I'm going to be honest, after my divorce, and I was like, shit, nobody is coming to save me. Nobody is coming to save me.
That's so true, man.
Right?
Even being in your own room, just sitting down like, fuck,
right.
What the hell do I do?
Right. And I remember being like, this is not the Deb that the world sees, right? The Deb sees this energetic, loving, and I'm like, shit, no one is rescuing me. All these years of, marriage and friends and connections, it didn't mean shit.
Man.
It didn't mean shit.
That was you transitioning.
Amen.
You know?
You know what they say? It gets the most challenging when you're about to take off.
That's so true. Because you're in that disorientation phase.
Right.
Like how, man, I studied this man like a Bible, like a thesaurus, right?
Right.
Because the thing is when you're in transition, you're gonna have a phase of disorientation.
Right.
And then you go ahead and get success.
Right.
So,
or you do what I do and you load up on Chardonnay and gummy bears.
yeah,
that works for just a little bit. Then I'm like, this shit isn't working either.
Right.
Because now I'm addicted to sugar and Chardonnay.
Hey, both of the, hey man, that's funny, man. But let's.
And my friends, if they were in this room, they'd be like, yeah, Deb has a serious gummy bear.
What gummy bears?
Chardonnay addiction. The Habro.
Yeah,
okay, right? Because, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Unless you're in Texas and with me, and then I take my niece and we get the chocolate-covered ones.
Chocolate-covered gummies?
Right. Chocolate-covered gummy bears. That takes your addiction level to a whole new...
I got
that's like,
that.
I'm not just smoking weed anymore. I'm in a meth lab in my...
I'm smoking crack. That's hilarious.
I have a meth lab in my basement now.
You smoke crack, don't you? No.
Right.
No, but
it's like Breaking Bad with and I will find I'm off them though for now. Well, that's enough. We'll talk about that.
That's good. It's a sometimes you can't pleasure yourself. That's the thing though. You work so hard.
You know what I was doing? I was filling a voided cup.
And that's it. That's
and you know what else I was telling myself? You deserve these gummy bears, damn it, Debbie.
Justification.
Right. And now I look at the gummy bears and I'm like, I don't have time for these freaking gummy bears.
Hey, why not?
No, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel it.
Exactly. I was filling a cup that was totally just empty. And when you realize that,
man,
I was like, and everybody that is key in my life was like, you have got to share your shit with this world. You're like, Deb, you are you're our cheerleader. What would we do without you?
That's true. It's that energy, right? That
yes.
You're talking about something that's very, very important, right? And a lot of people do that. They justify their situation, which means that because this is happening, so it's okay if I roll over.
I had to learn that's you're not helping yourself.
You're not.
You just put yourself. Your dub's digging myself in a bigger hole with my empty bottles and with my gummy bears.
Yep. And the thing is that happens to everybody.
Yes, it does.
You can see the most energetic people. They'll get like that. I get like that sometimes. And the thing is that you have to slap yourself in the face.
Right.
Sit down and say, "Shut the fuck up. Let's do this."
Shut up. Right.
Let's do this.
Get out of your own head.
You can't.
I do
justify
this to
that.
myself on a regular basis, right? So I was so excited about today because to have you guys is it means the world to me to have you sitting in this chair next. Truly a blessing. And I'm I went to bed at 7, right? And people that know me at home, they're like, she's no freaking rock star. She does go to bed at 7. But I literally had to and be like, I am so grateful for when you stop putting limits on yourself and when you start believing in yourself and when you start doing the steps that you have done and what you teach, it just comes from a place of gratitude.
Man, that's key.
I mean, I'm key. Like, whoa, look at these amazing... You flew from California. to hang out with a 29-year-old blonde.
Right. And I'm having a blast.
Exactly.
I'm having a blast.
It is. It's so tell me how you keep motivating your people.
That's a great question. Environment.
Yeah.
Right. I learned this from somebody named David and he talks about what, as a man thinking in his heart, so is he. And the only way that you think is your thoughts come from your environment.
Sure.
What you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you feel,
right.
What you taste, what you smell, right?
Excuse me.
No, you're good. So the thing is, what if you were to surround your senses, what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you
Yes.
touch, what you smell, right? Whatever. And those just were going to be things that will help you grow.
I love
Right.
this.
So the thing is are you, the 15 minutes a day? That 1%.
1%.
If you listen to a podcast for 15 minutes, that would change your whole day. And trust me, I've done it
Exactly.
before.
Yeah.
I felt like shit. I listened to this. I'm like, man, you got this, Cawano.
Right.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
And boom, it happens. So what are you listening to? Who do you listen to?
Right.
Because are you listening to yourself? Because if you're broke right
Right.
now, that means you're listening to a broke person. And that's what I
Amen.
was doing when I first started. And I had to go realize I was listening to a broke person. I had to go listen to people that had the results that I wanted. And that was an environment thing.
Yeah, it is. It's landscape.
It is. So then, what am I listening to? What am I seeing? Right? Am I just seeing the environment that I'm in right now? Or am I getting out of my environment
Yes.
and going? So like right now, when I'm in Oakland, I drive about 15 minutes up in the hills, right? And I tell my parents, I say, I'm going to my house. Because I really, the thing is, your body doesn't know what's real.
Right.
Okay, so think about it. You've had a nightmare before. You were sweating, right? You were like, what the hell? But your mind was in the comfort of his own bed.
Right.
But your body
Right.
didn't know that you know
Right.
you were.
'Cause if you're awake, you'd be tearing ass out the window.
Exactly, right?
Right.
So the thing is if you can put your body in other environments where you want to go later in life, your mind doesn't know.
As if step into that
Mm-hmm.
person, because if you can create it, just block out the noise.
Exactly.
What do you want to look like?
What do you want to look like based off of the experiences? And I think
Right.
that's very important. A lot of people may not be confident or may not be eager to actually take action because of their experience. Maybe people experience failures in their life, and that's what they believe because that's what they experienced.
Right.
Right. So the thing is like, okay.
Well, we are creatures of what's stuck to us.
Exactly.
What is
Trauma.
stuck to us. Trauma.
Right.
Right. Real. Right. Such
Exactly.
a real thing. And I love, and you're so young, and I love this movement that we're addressing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not like, go in the corner, you're flawed.
Right.
That we can be anybody. And it's laughable, right?
Yeah.
Like when people call me and they're like, I'm going to be the worst thing. I'm like, okay. One, I'm going to guarantee you it's not the worst thing I've even heard today, right? And second of all, I believe you don't have to live anywhere you don't want to be.
That's true.
And I came from a place where I was like, this is my destiny. This is where I'm going to be. This is it. This is how I'm going to go through life. And when you break those chains, it's like freeing, right?
I think I am breaking those chains for my family.
Yes,
right?
yes, sir.
And not even money wise, right?
Right.
Let's talk about fitness.
Right.
Because, my father, he had a stroke about 5 years ago. My mother, she's, she'll tell you she's a little overweight, right?
Right.
So because of my dedication on fitness, telling my parents, you can't be eating that shit, right? Why the fuck do you have a big box of Oreos sitting on the counter? What the fuck are you doing? It's fucking 9 o'clock at night.
That's their gummy bears.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's their Chardonnay and gummy bears.
Exactly. So I pushed them, and some they would be mad at me sometimes when I would push them, but
Right.
now they go to the gym now almost every
That
morning.
is amazing.
And they're starting to take their health a little bit more serious. They're starting to eat a little healthier. I'm like,
Yes.
man, what if I didn't take action? Would my family be as healthy as they are now?
Right.
And that's the thing that.
But that's pushing from love.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You never understand or you never fully grasp what your outcome and what your actions will do to the outcome.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. I
One
love
word.
Exactly.
I've had people that tell me, my God, and to these people that are listening, I adore you. Deb, you changed my life. What? Like that to me is like, you helped me heal and I changed your life. Crazy. That is the biggest like motivator to me. You know, when I'm, let's face it, we get tired.
Mm-hmm.
There are definitely times we get a little tired, you know. I mean, I'm only 29, so I got some years.
You got some years.
I got some years to do this, but true. I mean, there are just days where I'm burnt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've hit my wall, but you know what? I recognize it. I honor it, and to be the best me, not only for me and for my daughter and for Rusty, but for the world. I just got to reel it back.
You know, Alex Ramosi talks a lot about that, right? You know, Coach Bird talks about this too, as well as professionals don't care about feelings.
They don't.
They don't. You know, and the thing is, like, I've realized, you know, because in my early career, I thought that I just had to keep working, no matter what, right? And I got burnt out.
Yes.
So the thing is I realized that, okay.
And you can't. You're not good to anybody at that point.
Exactly, because now you're shit to yourself and you're shit to other people. So now you don't want to work with yourself because you're shit. You're trash, right? So
where I don't work with shit.
Exactly, right? So the thing
I'm having to sip a wine to that because that's right. That might have been the line of the day. I don't work with shit.
Right, I don't work with shit. So the thing is, like, how can I forgot that? Yeah, that's so funny. That's hella funny. I forgot what the hell I was gonna say because that's.
But it's true because you get in that mindset, right?
There you go.
Then you're beating yourself mutilating.
Right. So, you know, digging yourself deeper in that hole.
And
like, what do you like? You know.
Yeah, and I always come from a place. Am I doing them justice? If I'm taking money from these people, I need to be doing them justice.
That's exactly. So, when you get burnt out, right, or when people get burnt out, right, the thing is that instead of running, because, you know, we're always running as entrepreneurship, you know, or sprinting, whatever you want to call it. But the thing is
hoses, fires.
Exactly. Right? Extinguishers all over the place, right?
I feel like a professional firefighter.
Right, exactly. So the thing is now when you are basically, dang it, forgot again.
When you're an entrepreneur and you're going all the time.
You don't run all the time. Sometimes you walk.
Amen.
You know, and I tell my team that.
Because you got to honor yourself.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah.
And I realized that because I start to see that, you know, most of these high value people that we see on social media, they're like, you know, sometimes I'm a human too. I get burnt out too. And
I have to tell you, in December when Coach Burt opened his calendar and put in the thing, right?
Oh my God.
And he's like, first of all, he's a machine. And he's a great father, and he's a great husband.
Man.
And he holds space for you. I respect that so much. But, you know, up comes the schedule. And I could see his, like, you know, there's his stunning wife, like, in there. And he's like, and I took these 2 weeks, and I think I could hear his teeth crack. He was like, this man goes hard.
Man, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I love that because if you don't have your family, if you don't have your people, no matter what they are, if they're blood or not blood, you've got nothing.
That's so true.
You've got nothing. You're nobody. There's not a dollar amount if you don't have somebody that you call home.
That's so true. I don't even know what I would do with my family if they weren't here.
Right.
I think about that all the time, actually. Like, damn, what if my family wasn't here?
Right.
I'd be fucked.
Well, I mean, your parents are young. You got some time.
Definitely. But, you know, I'd be fucked. Like,
yeah.
You know, I love, you know, because, you know, we talk about I love my parents all the time.
I know. I love to hear stories. All right, let's switch it up.
Let's do it.
What do you do for fun?
For fun?
What's relaxing? What is the fun behind the man that's building an empire?
I love that. Well, I do consider work fun because I work with people that I love to work with.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
Know, so I love my job
fun.
too.
You know,
I love it.
That's key, and I think that you know, intentional congruence, something that Michael Burt talks about, right? Doing something that you love to do inside your business. Your business is fund your friendships. Your business is fund your activities, stuff like that. So like right now, I just got into golf like last
I
September,
totally
October,
see
November.
you on a golf course.
Oh, it's so fun. Because, you know, I grew up competitive as hell in baseball. Like, I had to be the best. I had to be the best. So, like,
I'm
now.
Winning. You're not.
Exactly. You know, and the thing is now coming to golf, if you don't hit the ball exactly where you want it to go, you made a mistake.
It's a mind game.
Man. And the thing is you have to work on it so much. But that's not all I do. I golf, you know, to, you know, meet with other people, have
I know
fun.
you have a love of skiing and snowboarding.
Oh, snowboarding, man, I shred. Like,
I know, I've seen your stuff.
This is like my first season, and I think I'm kind of decent at snowboarding.
Great.
You know, so it's crazy because that's actually I guess those are the two things that I really do that are my extracurricular activities that keep me sane. Other than traveling and going other places and stuff like that.
Right. Because when you work hard, you get to play hard.
Exactly.
All right.
Believe
Here's
that.
my question before we get to pump your business and let how everybody know how
Okay.
they can work with you and get in touch with you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe everybody has a fight song. Right? It's the thing you listen to when you're like, I'm going to cry my eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
Or the thing that you listen to that just jacks you. Like, let's go. What's yours?
Man, I don't think this is appropriate to play. 'Cause, I'm from the
It's totally
hood, so,
appropriate to play. I wish you were in here earlier.
Gosh, let's see. There has to be one. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna play it.
Let's
All
do.
All right,
Go,
so here we
go.
This is Jeep Rico
That's it.
from South Central LA.
Love it.
Okay, so this is gonna be kind of ghetto, but it's okay. All right, so here we go.
Is that
So I
true?
can hear this shit. Here we go. So I'll just play like a little part of it.
Yeah.
Cops kept kicking in my door till the homie died. Now they don't come
Here
no
we go.
That made me think, was that nigga working with the police?
Was he? No, I was like,
Maybe so. These days you never know.
I'm just being real. That's how I think, and that's how
Nigga feel, can't wait till
I love it.
so that's really he talks about getting paid is my hobby and
Right.
can't no hated nigga stop me,
Right,
so
I
like
love that.
so like so
Right,
he talks
love
about
it.
that. So he talks about can't nobody stop him. Money, love his love language is revenue.
Right.
And and-
Coach Burt says that.
Exactly,
Too. It cracks
yeah,
me up. He's
that's
like,
what-
love, money's my love language. With this like gorgeous wife with like, I'm like,
Right.
sir.
when he first said that, I was cracking up
Oh my
laughing.
God.
I was like, yo, I have never heard that a day. in
That
my
is like the
life.
funniest. I swear to God, like I laugh at him so hard. I'm like, oh
Man,
my God.
I
And
say
it's
that
so
all the
fun.
time now.
I know money's my love language.
Yeah, so
right?
revenue's my love language.
Is your
because-
love language. I gotta tell you, people are my love language. Like,
That's true.
I gotta tell you, when you meet Rusty, he'd be like, I'm just trying to get Deb into for a burger.
Uh-huh.
I'm not trying to like, she's up there singing with the friggin' band and
Uh-huh.
I just
love that.
like I love people. Like I love a story. All right,
think-
here's one more thing. I believe every human being has a superpower. What's yours?
You were talking about developing people, right? And I believe that my primary skill, I specialize in being able to lead people to a vision that I cast, develop people to be able to obtain this vision and be able to help them get results in a fast amount of time and now be able to help other people do the same.
That's
I think
beautiful.
that's my real main skill.
Can I tell you, I 100% see that in you.
Thank you.
100% see that in you.
I appreciate that.
100%. So tell our listeners, how can they get in touch with you? How can they work with you? How can they become part of your world? How can they get your energy?
Perfect.
How can they get onto grab some of that energy and go?
Amazing. So, all social medias will be Cawano Sizemore. Thank God to my kuya Paul. Shout out to John. Shout out to Jake. But
Jake is the man, man.
yeah.
If anything, we've established today,
yes,
Jake is God.
Jake is the man.
We
definitely.
totally love
Yeah,
Jake.
We love Jake. Yeah, we do. But you can follow me on all social media platforms.
Yes.
YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all that Cawano
And we'll
Sizemore.
post all your links.
Appreciate you.
For sure.
Yes, and then I have a website. It's a little. It's in. I'm getting a new website created right now, so it's a little PG. Okay, but it's
No, it's just a
www
preview.
That's
That's what we're
exactly.
gonna call it.
It's a preview.
We're gonna sneak peek.
It's a preview.
Right.
What does PG stand for? It's a preview. It's preview guarantee. There we go.
Right.
PG stands for preview guarantee.
Right, exactly.
Okay, but
just like get a little glimpse, a little taste.
Exactly. So
Put your foot in the water.
Connect Agency has three different components, right? But the two main components that we are focusing on right now is Connect Wealth and Connect Skills. So what is Connect Wealth? Connect Wealth is helping you build generational wealth without taking any losses. So,
Love this.
people may ask me, oh, how do you, help people make their money work for them and never lose, right? There's something called indexing. All right. And you can look this up. It's called indexing. It's not an index account. It's a concept called indexing. where you participate in the market gains and you never take the market losses. All right. And
Incredible.
Even in some of these accounts, you don't have to pay taxes, you know, and there's actually businesses that I've helped see these vehicles, and I can actually redirect tax money they were going to pay the IRS and pay themselves.
So that's important to know, that you just don't work with individuals. You work with businesses.
I do work with businesses.
That's
yes,
awesome.
Indeed. Not only that, connect skills, right? You know, I'm a firm believer that people will pay you more for your skills and value and knowledge than they will your time.
Absolutely.
So the thing is, if we can help people focus on generating a skill set, right, and value, they can now exchange that value for more money, because people will pay you a hell of a lot more money for your value than your time. And that means you're going to make a hell of a lot of money in a shorter period of time.
Right.
Now,
and you're making them money.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
Exactly. You're helping them develop and actually have purpose, you know. But the thing is we just actually added on something to Connect Agency very recently called Connect Media.
Love this.
Okay, so we don't record or anything like that, but we have an editor in place that will literally do everything for you. He'll post for you. He'll
incredible.
You know, edit all the content for you. He'll manage your social media for you, stuff like that. Now the thing is it just depends on, you know, what you want to do, right? Are you someone that's just getting into content creation, or are you someone that's actually established a brand that you need to be consistently posting, and what does that look like for you, right? So also content ideation. So if you're if you're an entrepreneur looking to have very attractable, appealing content,
right?
Then we help people with that as
right.
well. But
I never thought I'd be in a business where like your social media was your your shtick, but it is so important. That's the world we live in.
Business card.
It's truly beautifully put. It is your business card.
And I know that you guys already have a great media team that you guys work with, you know, so definitely you know, we don't do all the videography stuff. We don't set the cameras or anything like that, but if you record, we'll take care of everything for you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So one last question. Will you come back?
Of course. You know I'm coming back.
Absolutely.
You know I'm coming back.
I love you. I'm so happy you're here
Love you
today.
too.
I really appreciate you being
appreciate being
flying from the West Coast. I appreciate you.
It was an honor.
Oh, thank you
It was
so
an honor.
much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Let's grow.